Hi, my name is Justin Loria, and today I'm going to explain the difference between two commonly misunderstood terms in skateboarding, frontside and backside. Since the terms frontside and backside have their origins in surfing, let's start by going over the two different ways you can carve a quarter pipe, the skateboard analog of surfing on a wave. Alright, so in this context, the meaning of frontside or backside is pretty straightforward. When you're riding on a quarter pipe like this, it's considered a frontside carve, regardless of which foot you ride with in front. Now there are two things that I want you to take note of. First, my body is oriented in such a way that I'm facing the ramp rather than having my back to it, and second, I'm rotating so that the front side of my body turns to face the way I was traveling when I started the carve. While both of these conditions are true in this case, the reason we refer to this as a frontside maneuver is because the ramp is in front of me while I ride on it, and not because I'm rotating my body in any particular direction. It follows that if you're riding a quarter pipe like this, with your back facing the ramp, it's considered a backside carve. Now this doesn't just apply to carving the quarter pipe, but rather to every trick you can perform on it. So if you're riding up the quarter pipe like this and you do a grind, it's a frontside grind. If you ride up the quarter pipe like this and do a board slide, it's a backside board slide. Notice how in this case, as I enter the slide, my board and body are rotating the same direction as in the frontside carve I did earlier, but since I'm entering the board slide with the coping behind me, it's still considered a backside board slide. Similar to tricks done on a quarter pipe, tricks done on most other obstacles are described by which side of your body the obstacle is on as you approach it. So if you roll up to a ledge like this and do a 5-0 grind, it's called a frontside 5-0. If you approach with the ledge behind you instead and do a 50-50 grind, it's called a backside 50-50. Alright, so now we're going to move on to tricks that involve board and body rotations without you first approaching an obstacle frontside or backside. In these cases, a different but similar definition is used. For 180 ollies on flat ground, for instance, you describe the rotation based on what direction the skater turns to face 90 degrees into the maneuver in relation to the direction they're moving. So, since doing a 180 ollie this way, I'm turning the front of my body to face the way I'm moving, it's called a frontside 180 ollie. Halfway through the rotation the other way, my back is facing the way I was initially traveling, so you'd call that a backside 180 ollie. Likewise, if you ride straight up a quarter pipe and do a trick that involves a rotation in this direction, it's a frontside maneuver. The same goes for backside rotations. This applies to tricks where just your board or just your body rotates as well. For tricks where your board and your body rotate in opposite directions, you can sometimes leave out which direction your body is rotating if it's already implied by the name of the trick. Okay, so the last thing we need to cover is how the rotation modifiers change with your stance. For an overview of the main stances you can have on a skateboard, you can refer to this video. So for each of the four main stances, all of them follow the same rules for which direction is frontside and which is backside, except for in one case: Fakie stance tricks that don't involve approaching an obstacle. So a switch frontside 180 looks like this, and a nollie backside 180 looks like this. However, with Fakie stance, a frontside 180 looks like this. Notice how I'm turning so that my back is facing the direction that I'm traveling. There's no question that there's an inconsistency here, so you'll just have to remember that Fakie stance tricks are referred to by their normal stance counterparts, and nollie tricks are referred to by the usual definition for rotation identifiers. Now, if you're unsure of how to refer to a particular trick, you're always encouraged to ask questions in the comment section below. Also, make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and as usual, remember to have fun.